Guys, I come to you all right now with a bit of a broken heart. Okay, all week today, specifically yesterday, starting yesterday, and of course today, all of my Ohio State football teams have lost. In last night's game, we saw Ohio State. It was the battle of, the SEC championship game. It was Indiana Hoosiers versus us, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We lost by 3 points because of our freaking kicker, our field goal kicker, Jaden Fielding. He literally dropped the ball. He could have tied up the game. He literally misses the field goal kick. I've been sick. I've been sick since yesterday. And then today, my Cincinnati Bengals, we got beat by the Buffalo Bills. Cleveland Browns, we got beat. Cleveland Browns got beat by the freaking Tennessee Titans. But again, you know what? Actually, my Ohio State women's Buckeyes, our basketball team, we did win by like 9 points. It was 70-79. I saw the score again. It's been so many games coming on today, guys. That's why I'm doing this video so late. I've been watching football literally all day. And last night, okay? But today, I ain't gonna lie. I had to take precedence, even though I'm about women's basketball. But at the same time, I knew that South Carolina, it was a blowout. I was like trying to flip through channels. UConn, blowout win. South Carolina, blowout win. Notre Dame, blowout win. LSU, blowout win. I'm like, you know what? Let me see what my USC Trojans going to do. Again, without Juju Watkins, I've been really rooting for them. But they didn't add it, the Black Swan, a.k.a. Jazzy Davison. Well, Jazzy Davison, a.k.a. what I like to call her, being the Black Swan, to the program. And they had to go up against Washington, okay? I believe Washington State, they were 8-0 again. They were 8-0 until they came across my USC Trojans in tonight's game. Because the Trojans were 6-2. Now we're 7-2 because we just officially, guys, in tonight's game, gave Washington their first L, and it feels so good because, again, this game started off rough. It was so rough. This game was very much so rough for the USC Trojans. Again, the first quarter, it ended with them having, 8-4 points. The freaking Washington State, they had 8 points compared to us. We had 0 points for like the first 7 minutes of the first quarter. It ain't nothing but 10 minutes per quarter. And I was so disappointed. I'm like, Jazzy Davison missing everything. I believe she made the first and maybe perhaps the only 3-point shot into the third quarter. We were terrible from the 3-point shot. We were terrible from layups and mid-range shots in that first quarter. We could not score nothing in the first quarter. Again, we finished the first quarter with just 4 points. But then we got it together. In the second quarter, the Huskies scored 14. Okay, Washington Huskies scored 14 points. The Trojans put up 18. The third quarter comes around. Washington puts up 12 points. The Trojans scored 17. And in the fourth and final quarter, the Huskies scored 16 points and Trojans scored 20. Let's get into the individual player statistics, okay? Starting with the USC Trojans first, okay? Vivian Uwachukwu had 0 points, 0 assists, 4 rebounds. Kennedy Smith had 13 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. She played a lot better than what she has been playing since the start off the kickoff to our current women's collegiate level basketball season. Cara Dunn had 5 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. Jazzy Davison, shout out to her, she got a double-double. Again, the Black Swan. She had 22 points, 4 assists, 12 rebounds. Malia Samuels had 0 points, 1 assist, and 3 rebounds. Malia, please. Okay, you have Gerda Russell Tate had 8 points, 0 assists, 8 rebounds. Laura Williams had 3 points, 0 assists, 3 rebounds. London Jones had 6 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound. And Diana Mendez had 2 points, 0 assists, and 1 rebound. Let's just talk about the main two. I would say the main two women on the Washington Huskies team who really had scored. One, let's talk about first Savia Seller. She had 20 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. And, of course, Avery Howell had a double-double. She had 16 points, 2 assists, and 13 rebounds. Now, guys, Avery Howell hit the transfer portal on us, okay? She used to be a USC Trojan, but it seems as though, again, no tea, no shade, I ain't trying to say nothing, but I'm going to say it. It seems as though once Juju Watkins got hurt back in March, she torn her ACL, a lot of people jumped ship, including Avery Howell. Avery Howell left the USC Trojans, hit the transfer portal, and went up to the Washington Huskies, okay? And I didn't like in the third quarter when we saw freaking Avery Howell literally push Kennedy Smith into the stanchion. And I'm like, why didn't they call anything for that? After Kennedy had laid it up, she scored on them. Avery Howell came back with the ball, and she pushed her out the way. Disrespectful, I ain't like that. I was like, y'all better show up and show out. Give Avery Howell the belt, as well as the other Washington Huskies. Give them the belt. I love that they gave them their first L in tonight's game. And let's talk about the overall player stats, okay, when it comes to both teams. Now, when it comes to field goals, I know it's going to get ugly. Ooh, God. Now, Washington was 18 for 67, or 26.9%. Whereas the Trojans were 23 for 60, or 38.3%. Now, when it comes to three-pointers, Washington State, or Washington Huskies, were 6 for 25, or 24%. The Trojans, guys, we were just 2 for 17, 11.8%. I believe the first one was in the third quarter. It was made by Jazzy Davidson, a 3-point shot. I believe the fourth quarter, it may have been her or London Jones. I don't believe London Jones made a 3-point shot. I forgot who it was, but yeah, ridiculous. When it comes to free throws, Washington Huskies were 8 for 12, or 66.7% accuracy, whereas the Trojans were 11 for 21, or 52.4% free throw percentage accuracy. Now, total rebounds. The Huskies were 35. They had 35 rebounds. The Trojans had 44. The Washington Huskies had 10 assists. Trojans had 14. Huskies had 5 blocks. Trojans had 6. The Huskies had 9 steals. Trojans had 4. The Huskies had 10 turnovers, and the Trojans had 13. Again, this game got me feeling good, guys. I'm very happy and pleased at the fact that Trojans got it done. They got this dub today. Okay, I really needed to see a team that I was really rooting for win. Okay, of course, all my other teams that I like to follow, Notre Dame, South Carolina, UConn, Huskies, LSU, they all got the dub. Okay, they had boring blowouts. I didn't want to call those games, of course, I couldn't really watch and focus on those games because there was so many NFL games that were on right now. Okay, my Cleveland Browns, we almost got it done. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. He got himself a touchdown. Even though it was a tough loss to the Tennessee Titans, last night was a tough loss, okay? We are still here in Ohio. We are pissed. I'm so glad I wasn't at that game. If I was to go, I know people was getting their cars flipped over here in Columbus, Ohio, okay? It is what it is. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, guys. I gotta wrap this up because right now I'm seeing the Kansas City Chiefs get did like some dishes by the Houston Texans, so I'm about to go enjoy the rest of this game. But again, shout out to my Trojans. Okay, they got it done, okay? And boo Washington and forget Avery Howell. Again, I don't appreciate and respect her for pushing Kennedy Smith in the third quarter. She ain't no good.